preferred over this unit. And we're going to talk about why right now. So first of all, let's talk about battery chemistry. This is a LiFePO4 lithium iron phosphate battery chemistry. And so you get up to about 3,000 cycles rated, where you can maintain at least 80% of its original capacity, whereas all of the Jackery units use a lithium cobalt chemistry, which is rated for around 200 or 300 cycles, where you get about 80%. Expect to get keep about 80% of your original capacity. So for that reason alone, the Vitomin Jump 1000 has a significant advantage over the Explorer 1000. So in terms of battery capacity, this is a little over 1,400 watt hours. This is right at 1,000 watt hours. So a full 40% more battery capacity than the Explorer 1000. But as you may know, not all of that capacity is always accessible to us, especially if we're pulling power through the AC outlets and we have to use the AC inverter. There is always going to be a little bit of efficiency loss based on the efficiency of the inverter. So I wanted to find out what is the sort of minimum usable capacity of both units. So I used a heat gun, and I'll put a quick little video up here to show that. But I used a heat gun that outputs a little over 1,000 watts, about 1,050 more or less, plus or minus 5 watts. And I ran both units down, all the way down, and I used a watt meter on it to determine how much power it used in that time. So the Jump 1000 gave me 1,189 watt hours using that rapid drain test with the heat gun. And so that equates to 84.4% efficiency. Now, that usable watt hours of 1189 on this is, as I'm saying, the minimum, because if you were to draw the power down at a less aggressive rate, say something in the 500 or maybe 300 watt range, and just like running other smaller things, you're going to get more than 1,189 watt hours out of this thing. But I was really challenging these two units to draw power down pretty much at the maximum continuous watt range of just over 1,000 watts. And on the Jackery, I got 837 watt hours. So it has a concurrent minimum efficiency of about 83.5%. Now this one is a couple years old, but it really doesn't have that many full charge cycles on it. I would say it's probably got less than 25 or so full charge cycles on it. So I wouldn't expect its capacity to have been impacted dramatically, but probably somewhat. So I'm going to call that kind of a wash. Both of these things have similar performance in terms of AC inverter efficiency, but this still does give you significantly more usable capacity than the Jackery does. Now I also did a hairdryer test on this. What? You don't think I need a hairdryer? All right, it's my wife's hairdryer, whatever. It draws well over 1,000 watts into the 1,400 watt range, and I wanted to see how both units performed, and they both performed roughly the same, as you'll see.
Stabilizer here. Level 3.
There we go, just shut off. So I got, 20 seconds out of it at 1,400 watts. So this is actually pretty good. All right, so I got about 14 seconds out of that, if I counted right. Cut us off. So we got just a few more seconds maybe out of the Jump 1000. And we did the Explorer 1000, but that's a good comparison, because both of these units actually do quite well, exceeding that 1,000 watt continuous. I thought the Jackery's performance was fantastic, and the Jump 1000's performance here is just a little bit better. So it's pretty impressive. And also, another similarity between the units is that from a no-load AC inverter draw, or a parasitic capacity loss, when you're running the AC inverter without a power draw. So any of these units, or any AC inverter, is going to consume a little bit of power when it's running, whether you're actually plugging something into it or not. So I wanted to find out how these units performed, and both of them perform basically the same. You lose about 1% per hour, up to about 5% of your capacity, your total capacity, and then the units realize there's no power draw and they turn the AC inverter off. So again, that's kind of a wash between these two units. So a couple other similarities. Both of these have pass-through charging, both on the DC and the AC side. Not all units will give you AC pass-through charging, but both of these definitely do. So you can charge it via the AC adapter or through solar while you're running other devices off the AC inverter on both these units. So that's basically a wash as well. And they both have 2-year warranties. Now the manual on this says it has an 18-month warranty, but the Amazon listing says it's 2 years. I did confirm with the manufacturer just before I started filming this to make sure I was giving you the correct information, and they confirmed that